Like, do you cut it together? Like, I don't have to. Okay, I'm like, and hello, I'm Stephen Jackman-Torkoff. I am playing Richard II in the Stratford production of Richard II, and this moment is my Richard. So first we have the opening dance sequence, and you might not think Richard opens with a dance sequence, but ours does, and we go very hard. It's very sensual, free, disco. It's just, we are the life of the party, and I am the life of that party. And I'm wearing a fabulous outfit. I got big sunglasses, frilly pants, frilly robe, and I'm just feeling myself. And as soon as I come out, I do a little photo shoot, disco ball comes down, and then we're on. And this dance is so fun because it changes a bit every day. I have kind of a free form section, and I've started really writhing on the ground and lifting up my shirt and slapping my belly and just having a grand old time trying to get everyone in the theater ready for this extravaganza they're about to experience. Okay, next up we have the hot tub scene. So this is definitely an iconic scene in our show. People remember this scene. You may not remember it from this book here. Brad Fraser has adapted the play and brought out a romantic relationship between Richard and O'Merle, who is his cousin. They love each other deeply, and you see them have this kind of intimate scene in a hot tub. And I just think this scene, though it's very sensual, sexy, it's also very deep and loving and intimate, and I think it's such a beautiful insight into the heart of this character and into the way Richard loves and is loved and shares love. And I get to act it with my dear friend Emilio, who I've known since I was 15 years old, so we've known each other for about half our lives, and to do a scene that intimate with someone I'm that comfortable with, it's really, I cherish that every day. So he's the best. He's an amazing actor. It's so beautiful too. I mean, I almost don't want to give it away, but the way all the designers have made this hot tub look like a real hot tub and how we appear out of it and the sounds and the music, it's kind of like a magical dream. And I think it's a lot of people's favorite scene. I think it's some people's least favorite scene. That's because I think we offer a lot and it's like a painting. So, and costume-wise, I'm not wearing that much in this scene, so, okay. Let's see what's next. Next we have Sad Stories of the Death of Kings. So this is the end of Act 1, and this is a very famous speech, but usually in the speech, it's after Richard has lost some of his friends and 2 of his best friends. And in other productions, you might not see them there, but in our production, they're there, bushy and green, and they have died. And so the urgency and the stakes of that moment are so much higher, and the loss is so much more present. So I find it a really scary scene to do. It's always open-ended, kind of, Sarah Dodd, my castmate, describes it as like me kind of stepping off a cliff in how the acting goes and how I manifest that grief. So it's really an intense way to end the act, because we start with this beautiful amount of joy, and by the end we're just plummeted into the depths of despair. And I have experienced a lot of personal grief, so it is present in this scene as well. And he's also trying to hold it together, but sometimes you really can't. So this is a beautiful speech, very famous speech, and I'm happy to do it in such a deep way. Okay, the next we have the passing of the crown. So Richard is giving up his crown to Bolingbroke, his cousin, and maybe reluctantly, but he still is the one to give it up. And in our production, we have this chorus of angels representing power, and we think maybe they're with Richard the whole time, but really they're with the crown. And this is the moment you see them change sides. And we have Cameron Carver choreographed this, but you see in this beautiful movement piece, this crown passed from me to my cousin. And this is the moment in the show, my friend who's seen it a few times, Lauren, they always say, like, this is the moment I snap, where I go really over the edge in the deep end, because it's so heightened, and it's so, it feels very epic and Shakespearean, which is cool, but also in this modern, contemporary, playful way. I'm also wearing a cute costume. See-through pants, pearls. But yeah, this is a really beautiful scene, and the angels do such beautiful work in showing that loss and that change. As you can see, the scenes get a little sadder as we go along. Okay, the last scene that I will be describing is when I'm imprisoned in Pomfret Castle. And it's really gorgeous. Like Michael Gianfrancesco, the way he designed this prison with these disco ball coming down and the neon lights being the bars, and how this thing that was so beautiful at the beginning of the show is now the thing that imprisons Richard, I think is really epic. I'm so free in the show, and Richard is so free and represents this, but this is the most constrained he is. He's like wrapped up in this womb-like bag. He's then in a prison, a startling image. And then this whole scene is the most intense scene in the show to me, because O'Merle, who you remember from the hot tub scene, whom I love, who has loved me deeper than anyone, ends up being the one who is going to kill me. And I find this out from someone who lets me know before, but the whole time I'm going, this can't be right. It's like, my brain is going, he loves me, he wouldn't do that. Maybe it's some elaborate thing to save me. But, so the most intense moment in the play for me is this quiet moment where he gets me out of the prison and we're just walking towards each other silently. In the theater, you could hear a pin drop. And one show, a few shows ago, there was like actual thunder outside the theater right in that moment. And that's what that moment feels like. The storm is brewing, and yeah. And he kills me. It's very sad. I think he has a lot of different reasons for it. And different audience members have different responses to what that could mean. But in the end, I have pink neon blood, because as much as Richard had faults, maybe the way he lived was magic. Maybe the way he loved and lived 100% is something to strive for. And though he also did bad things 100%, at least he can be an example of someone who loved and lived 100%. And that's something I strive to do, with maybe more awareness of other people's feelings. But yeah, so I just think this is a beautiful play. It's offering upon offering upon offering upon offering of magic and beauty and depth and love and sex and danger and risk. Every time it's different. And I feel so excited to get to go out on that play and dance. And not just dance, but kind of dance through a story. Yeah, so that is my Richard. Thank you for watching. I'm Stephen Jackman-Torkoff. I'm playing Richard II. Come see me, come see us make magic at the Tom Patterson Theater till September 28th. See you there. Yeah, I never said that before. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.